silver spheres. Silver spheres are widely seen and reported by pilots, airline passengers, military personnel, and of course, the general public. There are countless photographs of these intriguing anomalies. However, the most interesting encounter occurred on a Middle East battlefront. Some may recall the video footage of militants firing on the silver sphere. CGI? I do not believe so. Take a very close look at the video. If you speak the local dialect, all the better. These are perfectly spherical and do not deform. They produce a perfect surface for reflecting everything around them. Generally, they are seen during the day, as in the video. They can be created in any size and hover at any altitude desired. These spheres appear and disappear instantly. Most noteworthy in the video is the fact that no force field was seen when being fired upon. No need, the round simply passed through. What appears to be a solid object, it's a hologram projection. Another unusual series of hologram projections more recently seen in many countries are the fatamorganas, filmed and photographed all over the world. There are a sufficient number of photographs and witness accounts of aliens creating hologram projections. On July 7th, 2011, a witness photographed a series of cylinders. The holographic image of an alien also appeared in the photograph. These could be theirs, however, it is also rumored that the scientists and the engineers on the ill-fated flight MH370 were involved in a similar government project. Ours or theirs, we cannot say. With respect to the silver spheres, they are not ours. Aside from creating fabulous historical 3D footage for the Atavachron, their purpose will always remain a mystery. Some important final notes on silver spheres. With one exception, there is no apparent field around these spheres. They do not leave trails, nor do they cloak themselves. They simply disappear. Excepting pilots who fear a head-on collision, the silver spheres are relatively harmless. Not so for our mischievous, solid, fiery friends. These are frequently seen, so it behooves us to conclude with our silver spheres counterpart, the glowing orb. As mentioned, our fiery friends come in a variety of shapes, but the most insidious, and my favorite, is the black ball. Big brother in every sense of the word, a bit like Homeland Security. The glowing red orbs with their shield off are small, spherical, self-levitating, dark gray to black, mechanical, usually basketball to medicine ball-sized probes, with a metallic appearance, whose purpose seems to be surveillance. They are always seen close up, hovering around buildings, windows, attractions, fireworks displays, military bases, monuments, above people's heads, and following them everywhere, recording everything. Probably developed for surveillance on their home planet, of course. Technology has thwarted their ability to cloak themselves. Certain cell phones will pick up their outline when cloaked. These peeping toms have a number of self-contained compartments housing various laser-type systems and have been known to shock witnesses for repeatedly flashing lights at them. The witnesses indicated that it was analogous to a pinch-line charger jolt. Do not annoy the orb. It may zap your eye with a high-intensity light causing extreme temporary discomfort. Remember your PPE rules: welder's mask with laser filter and flip-down mirror, and the Faraday battery cage if it uses a battery. Your defensive device for that snap, crackle, and pop? A hypo squirt. Beware, a planet hopper may be nearby. Proceed with caution. Our unworldly friends have an unusual array of probes. Rods have been documented since the 1600s, the Renaissance period. They are rarely seen, but are true changelings, shapeshifters, or if you prefer, transformer. Although the probe has the ability to change its appearance, it remains in the basic state, an interconnecting, articulating, segmented series of panels, like a watch band. But the ability to manipulate the gamut of visible spectrum luminosity, thus allowing it to morph in appearance, and in turn reincarnating itself as a corkscrew, vertebrae, worm, staple, a crescent, hot glowing rod, or a spiraling double helix. Most often it is referred to as a snake or serpent. By all accounts, it is very colorful and puts on quite a show. Biblical references are most apropos. It must be quite a sight to behold, and definitely not for the feeble-hearted. It does not seem to have any purpose unless it is to amuse and entertain us mortals, or perhaps to scare them. Its true purpose may remain a mystery, but its secrets have been revealed by two witnesses who saw it from a different perspective. In view of their ability to change, it may be that these are our paranormal rods, but not spiritual orbs. Below are a few more recent sightings with some contemporary descriptions. January 20th, 1951, the bluish-white needle-like object turns into a worm with a head and tail. Edmund Jaker, noted naturalist, saw something quite unnatural. March 25th, 1979, a glowing triangle drops amber glowing orbs into the ocean. Shortly thereafter, a luminous vertebrae or spinal cord appears in the air. November 26, 2008, a black 7-foot oblong and porous probe transforms into a shamrock, a V, staple, and finally a snake. October 17, 2009, the fluorescent blue rotating vertebrae or backbone were 2 to 3 feet in diameter, 7 to 10 feet long, and 40 to 50 feet above the ground. December 24, 2011, from V to serpent to string of lights per witness account. March 4th, 2012, 2 3-foot rods, approximately 75 feet away, look like swimming snakes or serpents. 8/20/2013, a semi-visible strip of chromatic wavy membrane forming spaghetti strands into a double helix. Noted wavelengths were never seen before. November 26, 2014, harbor cruise ship passengers observe a ribbon-like object with a spherical head. July 10th, 2015, witness saw a bright white corkscrew-like object. September 10th, 2015, witness saw a blue, white, green spineless serpent, but with apparent mass, grayish on edge, approximately 2 inches thick. July 28th, 2019, snake-shaped UFO seen by witness. Our alien visitors have no shame. They used to be far more discreet. One of the most unusual probes, but alien-specific, is the tubular triangle. This too has been seen in glowing, hovering orb form, but the following daylight witness sighting was a unique and close-up observation. For those unfamiliar with Lake Tahoe, the water can be crystal clear and visibility up to 120 feet. On July 5th, 2008, the witnesses observed a colorful, small, triangular tubular probe measuring 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, spinning like a frisbee. Approach and pass below them. It moved at a rapid jogger's pace. It remained 5 feet from the shoreline and 10 feet below the water surface in a very consistent manner. Flashing strobes of lights of various colors were also noted as it traversed the shoreline. Probes are very well known for being submariners. Lake Tahoe is the jewel of the Sierras. Considering its depth, it will take some time to map. Hopefully they will send us a copy of the bathymetric map when it is completed, in holographic form, of course. Everyone likes a saucer. We have saucers, they have saucers. Saucers seem to come in many forms. Triangles, diamonds, or chevrons, aka flying wings, which seem to be extraterrestrial specific. The saucers are radically different. They come in all sizes, shapes. Many reference the TV series The Invaders or the Independence Day movie. Many refer to specific saucers as crab or horseshoe-shaped, flat-bottom, concave, convex, among others. In essence, there are many descriptions. One could speculate that several different extraterrestrial races Earth in saucers. This may well be the case. One thing we can say is they aren't ours. Some of the accounts are detailed and lengthy. Thus, the salient features have been provided. The experience has left an indelible impression on some witness for the rest of their life. It's October 17th, 1965. This witness account refers to the 1955 movie Flying Saucers from Outer Space. The saucer in the movie was identical. October 1st, 1970. A classic van-sized gray saucer, 20 feet from the witness, opens a hatch and an object which appears to be a camera pops out. June 1st, 1972. Another classic 150-foot diameter saucer with dome 400 feet above the witnesses. June 6, 1976, classic saucers like the one in the TV show Invaders. July 25th, 2006, Independence Day saucer with 300-foot saucers coming out. And of course, one of my favorites, August 9, 2006, classic silver saucer, but with a flat bottom. It was approximately the size of 8 large cows. I wonder what it was doing in his field. Until more recently, the classic saucer was the status quo. With the arrival of our new Independence Day saucers and a plethora of highly unique smaller saucers, it would seem that our visitors from afar are still coming. These exotic designs differ considerably, but it would seem that at least 3, possibly even more different extraterrestrial entities have adopted the pseudo-saucer design. The Independence Day mothership comes in 2 sizes, half a mile and 1 mile. It is the largest saucer, but these smaller ones warrant attention. They provide a modicum of insight into the possible final link in the levitation design, which seems to be a common denominator. It was November 15, 1966. The 200-foot diameter saucer was 500 feet up and had a recessed concave bottom section measuring approximately 20 feet by 20 feet by 20 feet. June 1st, 1976, the saucer passed directly overhead. The bottom looked like microchips with a screen over them. June 1st, 1987, as the saucer passed over our heads, it appears to have microchips with a screen across the bottom. June 1st, 2008, it was a golden glowing saucer with a concave bottom. June 14, 2014, the silver saucer had catacomb-arranged holes. The holes were lighting up like jet engines. This is similar to the picture screen report. Another saucer design, which is a radical departure from others, is the square extruded or recessed undercarriage design, like the one above. July 17, 2014, the saucer 200 feet above our heads had an extruded square block indentation in the bottom. Glowing piping systems have been seen in these recessed areas. Other spacecraft also share this common design. The large horseshoe or crab saucer also seems to be a relatively new arrival, which seems to vary in size. Underside details are lacking. On June 25, 2011, the witness saw an offset horseshoe-designed saucer. June 30, 2013, a horseshoe-shaped saucer the size of 2 aircraft carriers was seen by the witness. December 15, 2019, a crab or horseshoe-shaped 40-foot diameter saucer was observed at approximately 2,000-foot altitude. Remember, your odds of having a UFO close encounter are less than 1 in 3,000. But if you do, men in black sunglasses and sunscreen are recommended. Exterior or shrouded piping system arrays and raceways seem to be common in many extraterrestrial craft. Piping systems are seen on cylinders, triangles, cubes, chevrons, and some saucers. Reports of such systems on derbies, diamonds, donuts, etc. may exist, but none were found before this video was produced. This seems to be the last link in the anti-gravity system. Generally, the pipes are glowing green or blue. These systems may be internal on the larger spacecraft, but are clearly external or slightly recessed on the smaller craft. The plasma field, or aura, generated around these craft is a separate component and has no bearing on the craft anti-gravity capabilities. They energize and de-energize the field at will, and the craft remains suspended in the air. To best describe the piping glow, one only has to imagine red-hot pipe coming out of a steel foundry. Now color it green or gray and add it to many more, glowing away. Some might describe it as a nuclear plant uranium rod or fluorescent tube glow. The recessed piping system on the small Scout cube seems to be in the center, virtually extending the craft's full length and terminating in a small illuminated circular end, similar to a bright glowing aircraft landing light. Planet shuttles and solar hopper cubes have these glowing pipes on opposite sides of the craft undercarriage, running its full length and terminating in the same manner. Cube undersides have been described as smooth and flat, excepting these pipes and lights. However, this turns out to be a false impression, which will be addressed in the next episode. Cylinders also have integrated piping system arrangement in its exterior and tends to blend in with the craft during the day. Some triangles and saucers also have an intriguing piping complex. but it seems to be recessed in an extruded underside area of the craft. Descriptions vary, but usually square and fairly deep, like the nuclear cooling intakes underneath a battleship. An example, the Missouri. Chevrons have a more unique design incorporating octagon coil systems in the wings undersides. For DARPA, these are simply pipe dreams. On April 23, 1984, the witness observed a large gray triangle with piping systems underneath and a pulsing red light. September 15, 2004, when the large triangle passed over, it appeared to have a TV screen on the bottom full of snow. I suspect something like photons hitting a cathode ray tube. May 8, 2007, witness heard a hum like power lines, looked up to see a triangle with a square opening underneath exposing piping and equipment. October 22, 2011, the black triangle had a recessed square space in the center, apparently radiating heat, and all three sides seemed to have propulsion units. March 4, 2012, the triangle had three lights at its tips, and the sides were ringed with exhaust grills. April 21, 2016, the 150-foot diameter triangle was 30 feet above the ground. A square, possibly rectangular area underneath was seen, white lights on the tips. December 15, 2006, it was a small plane-sized triangle with a round-looking underbelly. January 29, 2013, a massive triangle equal in size to 20 airliners had a circle on the bottom. July 20th, 2008, the witness observed a black cylinder with a gold dome on top and tubing, and hardware protruding from its dark surface. January 12, 2012, the cylinder was 50 feet long, 60 feet up, with a red blinking light on top. The exterior surface looked like entangled piping. July 1st, 1985, a 300-foot long by 100-foot wide cube, 150 feet up, and the bottom was illuminated by gray glowing tubes. March 24, 2008, two black metallic-looking manta rays had indentations on the bottom with a grill cover. January 3, 2012, the large chevron had piping in the shape of octagon coils under the wings. Obviously, piping systems are common, and the microchip look is in. Indeed, these are unique unto themselves. With respect to the anti-gravity abilities, how is this technology manipulated to maintain a stable interior environment within the craft itself? How do they overcome G-force limitations? These are questions for others to answer. By far, the cube is the most massive extraterrestrial craft visiting Earth. It has been compared to the Burj Khalifa Tower in height at 2,716 feet. It is 10,000 feet long, 2,500 feet wide, and twice the size of our Independence Day saucer. The design is utilitarian, with a dark or dark gun blue slightly curved and sloped outer walls, with the pseudo upside-down bread pan appearance on top. The bottom, front, and rear underside look like the front of a boat. Otherwise, it is relatively smooth except for the inset pipes. The sides are lined with countless rows of giant reflective windows, story after story, but these seem to change with light intensity, and it is said that the beings within can occasionally be seen and appear to be tall, 7.5 feet to 8 feet in height. No, it's not made of gopher wood. Of course, there is no way of knowing how high each floor is, so let's use the bottom floor square footage as an example. The cube bottom floor has approximately 573 acres, for simplicity. The world's largest mall is the Dubai Mall at 275 acres. The Smithsonian Natural History Museum is 34 acres. 16 Smithsonians can fit into the cube's ground floor. The tallest Smithsonian tower is 145 feet. That is a lot of Smithsonians. More to the point, this is a massive galactic specimen collector. Earth is just one stopover. Our twilight time travelers have many stops in their journeys through the darkest night of all, interstellar space. If they had arrived here a few million years ago, they could have bagged a T-Rex. It appears that they have room. Does How to Prepare Man come to mind? If time dilation is true, then they will move on for their aging. Of course, at this stage of development, mortality may not be an issue. Humanity's fountain of youth may lie in about 80-90% of the speed of light, or longer telomeres. Better get moving. How is it possible for such enormous craft to slip our notice? They don't. There are countless suppressed accounts, such as the news crew in Los Angeles, but inevitably many are made available to the public. In May 15, 1997, the NASA director films a 1-mile wide saucer and our jets look like ants. February 1st, 2003, an astronomer spots a black 1-mile long cube 1 mile up, 2.5 miles out. The craft was surrounded by jets. July 8th, 2015, the LA Museum director and associate encounter a saucer in the desert the size of 2 stadiums. September 30th, 2019, a 10,000-foot long red glowing cube was observed from our 737 in flight. Many remember the 2012 SOHO images of the sun, partially blocked out by an object referred to in the media as a cube. Finally, the media got it right. It has been edited since its release. A scientist announced that the craft had been spotted in Saturn's rings, since retracted. There are numerous accounts, images, and videos of triangles traversing the moon's surface. The following report is just one. October 10, 2006, the astronomer witnessed 3 black triangles traversing the moon with his Meade 70 AZAR telescope. March 1, 2011, a Google anomaly researcher saw an unusual image on the moon and inferred it was a massive mining machine. Upon review, no determination can be made as to the structure's purpose, only that it should not be there. The media has been flooded with UFO, USO images and reports for decades. But in this series, we have dissected our alien invasion force and presented the data not sanctioned by the government directly or confronted by the mainstream media. Remember, a new cube is in town, and they have a place for you to lounge. If you see the specimen man, don't give him your hand. Over 60 years ago, new breeds of exotic spacecraft began to arrive, and this has not waned. If anything, new arrivals have found another distant planet, the Earth, worth visiting, and our old friends have not left yet. In fact, they promise to stop by every 10 to 15 years. How comforting. Is it possible that this is how long it takes to return to the home planet, resupply and return? What many do not know is that they are tourists as well, simply in the vehicle of choice. For my tourist dollar, the cylinder is the only way to go. Saucers, triangles are more slick, but the cylinders have the best window seating arrangements, travel faster underwater, and dive far deeper than our submarines. Only the Russian VA-111 Shkval torpedo at 200 knots per hour can rival such underwater speeds. Within minutes, you can be at any sea Shangri-La, areas humans have yet to see. Rumored, unofficial submariner sonar reports have tracked USOs at depths of 20,000 feet. A little short of Jules Verne's 20,000 leagues, 1 league of course equals 1.4 miles, nevertheless deep enough for most of us. Depths beyond this do not seem to occur. This may be a structural or a size limitation. The Trist and Deep Sea Challenger are small and easily get to the deepest points, 35,797 feet, or 10,911 meters, where the pressure is roughly 16,000 pounds per square inch. For land lovers, it is 14.7 pounds per square inch. It was April 30th, 1948, 72 years ago. The silver saucer with underside windows descended over Mom. A pointed ear beam could be seen in the window. August 10th, 1959, a saucer with windows in the bottom hovered right over the house. August 15th, 1961, a saucer hovered over the facility and a being could be seen inside waving its hands over red, orange, green, and yellow lights. August 15, 1966, a 40-foot saucer with a row of square windows in the center hovered 20 feet above the house. July 14, 1969, the 300-foot long cylinder was 150 feet away. A humanoid silhouettes could be seen due to the colored backlighting window illumination. April 17, 1970, partially cloaked glowing orb with an interior craft is spotted 60 feet away from the witness. 2 aliens with helmets seen standing and sitting inside. October 10th, 1978, the witness sees a 300-foot-long cylinder by 40 feet high just 600 feet away. People could be seen walking around in the windows. July 13th, 1979, the silver saucer was 75 to 100 feet in diameter with a dome and porthole windows. It hovered approximately 75 feet up and had ski-like appendages. August 8th, 1989, a massive cylinder with rows of windows observed us. You know they were watching. May 15th, 1997, Air Force pilots film a 1 mile wide saucer with antennas on top and evenly spaced mirrored windows all around. December 10th, 1997, a cube 300 to 400 yards long was observed approximately 300 feet up. It had numerous illuminated windows like a cruise ship. May 15th, 2000, a large chevron with windows hovered 100 feet above us. July 1st, 2000, the cylinder was 105 feet long, approximately 200 feet away, with 2 rows of windows, totaling about 20 backlit 6-foot windows. November 1st, 2007, a large saucer with 3 rows of square windows on the top, an equal number on bottom, and 2 rows mid-center windows also in the center. December 30th, 2007, the partially cloaked small plane-sized chevron was 200 to 500 feet away, had a cockpit and dome. September 15th, 2009, 20 to 30 foot silver saucer was seen 200 feet away in daylight, 15 feet above the trees. It had a dome big enough for 2 people. October 5th, 2010, our witness sees a 300-foot triangle hover over the trees with 2 aliens inside dressed in green and silver uniforms. That will become important. Humvees arrive with military personnel wearing an unfamiliar 38th patch with a lightning bolt between 2 missiles. I have yet to find that. July 17, 2011, a large cylinder with 3 orbs and a fireball was 500 feet away above Mount Palomar. Beings could be seen in the windows. These are but a few craft sightings with windows. We can conclude that they do not have X-ray vision. They are biological life forms with eyeballs like us, and aliens do like to sightsee. Some other important information gleaned from these accounts was the silver and green uniform colors which have been mentioned in other reports. The October 5th, 2010 report also mentioned tree damage, in addition to the unapplied patch worn on the uniform. Remember, if you feel as if you're being watched, you probably are being observed. We often hear of men in black, but their degree of involvement relating to the UFO world has always been a mystery. However, one more piece to the puzzle was given to us on 8/1/1981, 39 years ago. This was a bit of crucial information. Fortunately, it was documented for posterity. 8/1/1981, the 300-foot long, 75-foot wide, and 40-foot high cube had 3 porthole windows, and tall beings could be seen inside. The craft barely missed the control tower at the Stockton airport. While this incredible event was transpiring, 2 men in black drove by the witnesses. As in the Boy Scout troop case, the men in black show up after the UFO sighting or event has taken place, not when it occurs. Another interesting link is the patch worn by the military personnel in the Humvees discussed earlier, 2 missiles with a lightning bolt between them. All these entities seem to be interconnected in some way. This division of the military, the men in black, and the cubes. Our visitors are sightseers in every sense of the word. There are documented reports, video, and photographs of alien craft around Mount Rushmore, the Statue of Liberty, the Washington Monument, Times Square on New Year's Eve, Niagara Falls, Knott's Berry Farm, Disney World, Disneyland. We know they like a good fireworks display as well. But little did you know they feel most at home with the balloon regatta. 8/5/2007. Witnesses observed a light-colored sphere approach and join the balloon regatta. No doubt they wondered what these strange craft were. The multitude of landing reports provides us with another important clue, and that is craft weight. The next case is typical of a landing impression. January 15, 2008. The owners found a circular area in the back of the property where the vegetation had been damaged. The area measured 100 feet in diameter. 3 small impressions in the soil were also noted. One would think a saucer 2 semi-lengths in diameter would be heavy, without the anti-gravity system on, yet the impressions are always shallow. This would lead us to believe that the alloys are composites or very light. One last note. Since very few people have an opportunity to fly up, measure a saucer, and come back down to the ground and tell us about it, perhaps this 100-foot measurement really does portray the saucer's size, especially when you consider where the outrigging locations are. Our visitors really do indeed have all-weather craft. They can traverse our oceans, atmosphere, through space, but these are a couple I enjoyed the most. November 1st, 2001, a large triangle descended and hovered 20 feet above the parking lot during an intense snow blizzard. August 28, 2011, the Marina webcam photographed a silver saucer just hovering in the air during a hurricane. Yes, indeed. Now, these half-cloaked ones I found highly unusual because I rarely ever hear any of these. It was April 18, 2006. The witness hears an unusual-sounding helicopter by Travis Air Force Base. He sees it flashing lights, but the chopper is invisible. I believe this one wraps it up for Travis. It was March 15, 2016. A 747-sized plane was spotted at Travis Air Force Base testing its cloaking ability. As briefly discussed in the Faces of Mars calendar, 2021, specialized military apparel also possessed this light refracting ability, the Invisible Man. Another compound coating used to absorb light, or at least 99.96% of all visible light, is Vantablack. It can withstand re-entry temperatures of 5,340 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, we cannot forget VAE, which produces a pixelated matrix in the form you wish. A tank can become the IR image of a cow in the field at night. The classic case encounter syndrome fall into a couple of other areas as well, flu-like symptoms or even burns after an encounter. Perhaps there is an answer as to why. On October 24, 2013, while viewing the night sky with the Stargazer, a triangle came into view. The unit flashed, warning, high magnetic field. A picture was taken and posted on the internet. Remember, you can minimize your risk of EMF exposure by avoiding UFOs and not working at the Cuban embassy. The Travis Air Force Base clearly demonstrates our cloaking ability and was seen by the general public with little regard for secrecy. The opposite is true for the following. Saucers were the scourge of the military, and in 1952 the triangle appeared. In its wisdom, the military planted a reverse false flag. Yes, in our world of propaganda, misinformation, disinformation, half-truths, and falsehoods, occasionally the truth finds its way to the surface, for all to view. But along the way, there are purposely planted false flags. Gaslighting was a popular term meaning you've been hoodwinked. Two well-orchestrated cases come to mind. On June 1st, 1945, prior to Liebert Doss's death in 1990, he broke his vow of secrecy and disclosed that in 1945 he saw 3 saucers with USAF on them in an open hangar at Salinas AFB. March 1st, 1978. In his dying statement, the witness said in 1942 he, 1 lieutenant, and 10 cadets saw a 30-foot saucer in an open hangar at Elgin AFB. The following must be prefaced by saying, in speculation only, but to leave your most advanced technology in what appear to be unguarded, open hangars for anyone to see and wander around in, then swoop in and tell them they did not see anything and that they are sworn to secrecy? Sounds like a setup to me. We must remember saucer fever is in full swing. How many others got to see these? Perhaps the tourist guide knows. Perhaps I'm being narrow-minded. Our alien visitors recently displayed their heart-throb Rocketman suit in full view of the cameras. No secrecy here. I like to call it the Rocketman Renaissance. Our most recent addition in alien rapid transit technology is the new and improved Rocketman. To date, it is the only suit ever seen with such capabilities. The photographs and videos were taken by different park-goers whom witnessed the object in broad daylight. And the FAA is interested in tracking them down. Is it ours or theirs? You decide. October 15th, 2020, the BBC, Times, CNN report the second incident of an individual in a jetpack interfering with commercial air traffic at LAX. In this incident, the China airline crew members spotted a person in a jetpack at 6,000 feet during their descent. An incident also occurred in September at 3,000 feet during the descent of another airliner. The FBI is investigating the incident. In an effort to fulfill our civic duty, we shall assist law enforcement on this one. We have fabulous hoverboards and jetpacks. An inventor now holds the speed record at 85 miles per hour. They can travel for 10 minutes, ascend to 15,000 feet, and have a range of 11 miles. Even Spock would be impressed in our rapid advancement. But all the inventors around the world said this is way beyond our technology. Having studied the videos from Sequoia Park, Monterey Park, California, clearly demonstrate unusual suit capabilities. One must concur with the experts, it's extraordinary. The new Jedi warrior look. Here are the suit's salient features. Range limitations first come to mind. Monterey Park is over 18 miles from LAX. This person is heading away from LAX at high speeds thousands of feet above the witnesses. Wind friction restrictions do not seem to be an issue. It does not lean with speed and always remains upright. It appears to be an enclosed one-piece flexible suit with unusually long arm and leg appendages. Most revealing are the videos depicting a barely perceptible red aura, the signature of our visitors. Case solved. Remember, if someone in a tall red glowing silver suit drops in, it's not the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz. Don't let them in. Motherships have been seen, filmed, and photographed launching our solar hoppers, shuttlecraft, and probes. Yet, one of their most remarkable abilities is to separate. Some at least, i.e. the triangle, cylinders, and saucers, can split into multiple craft or a different craft. Behold, another engineering feat. May 18, 1993, the triangle measured approximately 10 feet aside and split into 4 smaller triangles. October 15, 1997, a cube was observed splitting into 3 squares. March 25, 2008, 2 chevrons nose to nose split apart. Chevrons also joined to form diamond configurations. September 12, 2009, a relatively large triangle splits into 3 smaller triangles which go different ways. October 16, 2009, witness observed a triangle split into 3 saucers. There may be an answer to this puzzle. August 21, 2011, patrol officers observe and proceed to videotape 1 400-foot triangle splitting into 3 smaller similar triangles and 1 400-foot saucer split into 3 smaller saucers. Both were approximately 75 feet off the ground, in plain view. Now that's a story for the squad room. March 8, 2020, the huge cube split into 2 and went separate directions. May 14, 2009, we are fortunate to have this rare witness account, 2 triangles join to form a diamond. Motherships have not been observed launching diamonds, nor have similar sized triangular craft separations been seen leaving a diamond configuration in the process. Diamonds themselves do not seem sufficient in size to be true galaxy cruisers. The largest diamonds are about the size of Isis, a football field if you prefer. Descriptions analogous to 2 Empire State Buildings or aircraft carriers do not seem to exist, nor do they seem to be mischievous. Perhaps they are local folk just passing through. Obviously, our extraterrestrial neighbors love to have fun and entertain themselves. Whether it is toying with the military, playing a hide and seek, darting about commercial and private aircraft, dive bombing cars, or putting on colorful aerobatic displays for the public at no cost, we entertain them with fireworks displays, laser shows, concerts, Disney World, Statue of Liberty, the Rose Parade, as seen on TV, February 1st, 2007. They are equally capable of asking if we enjoyed the choreographed display, as evident from the following ship radio transmission. July 15th, 1978. The captain and sailors on board the fishing trawler off Point Reyes are surrounded by 5 dancing glowing orbs. The captain and sailors retreat below in fear, but one sailor remains on deck. Prior to the departure of the UFO, a voice came over the ship's radio and said, "Did you see that?" It's August 28, 1981. Like alien spectators at an event, a large cylinder-shaped UFO hovers over the freeway, causing a massive traffic jam and pandemonium at the local farmers market. The news later reported it was a balloon. January 19th, 2011. Our radio equipment went dead. Then a green USO, 4 times the size of our 42-foot fishing trawler, rose out of the ocean and flew away. Although our alien travelers have a somewhat macabre sense of humor, cruise liners seem to get special attention. Cruise line passengers are tourists, not unlike themselves, in a dark, vast ocean. We are about to become tourists on a distant planet, but not a distant constellation. In our previous episode, We Need to Split Up, we briefly discussed the ways in which the various alien craft detach from what appears to be a single craft into multiple crafts. This is a feature seen in a select number of spacecraft: the triangles, cubes, cylinders, one diamond, and perhaps some specialized saucers. Donuts, derbies, manta rays, and charons seem to rely on various probes, scout craft, and shuttles. There may be reports alluding to the capability of other craft utilizing this wonderful design, which has so many advantages. Just ask the astronauts on Apollo 13. Of course, that was a case of survival. There is the possibility that not all of the aforementioned craft are designed to do this, for the bands are not commonly mentioned in the sightings, or perhaps simply overlooked in the excitement of the moment. The following chronicled observations reveal what is essentially a docking ring. We dock in space, but not in the Earth's atmosphere. June 30th, 2004. The 50-foot long by 30-foot wide cube was segmented like tiles. May 11th, 2015. The witness noticed black lines defining cube panel sections. The cube was 180 feet long. March 15th, 2008. A container ship-sized cube was hovering above the ocean in Goleta. It had a flat bottom and appeared to be made of squares. June 27th, 2018. 3 large cylinders appeared connected together. Cylinders have been seen connected in parallel positions as well, as seen in the ISS picture. November 23rd, 2019. There was a black band across the underbelly of the triangle. Other notable design characteristics. May. Occasionally, our most notable design characteristics come from those who have seen it up close and personal. May 8, 2007. A torpedo-shaped object was coming straight at our airliner. June 18, 2007. Another possible clue in this docking configuration may be the comment made by an airline pilot at 8,500. The cylinder was 0.25 mile out, or quarter mile, measured approximately 12 feet in length, possibly longer with a taper towards the end, but flat at the very ends. This description is very similar to a grain silo, with the upper silo hatch at both ends of the silo, perfect for docking. January 25th, 2009. The cylinder was the size of a small jet, and the underside looked like the front of the SR-71. It was 150 yards out, 1,000 feet up. These familiar with the 2018 Florida cylinder sighting will no doubt see the similarities described by the above witness report. There are marked design differences between this new cylinder spacecraft and our traditional cylinder. If one were employing a cylinder bell curve, these newer arrivals would definitely be outliers. Again, what can we say? Welcome to Earth, and how long will you be staying? September 15, 2010. The 1,200-foot wide bat-style boomerang chevron with rounded wings appeared to have pixelated panels on the bottom. Having seen pictures of similar craft, pixelated panels may actually be backlit illuminated windows in various colors. October 5th, 2001, the cube had slightly curved sides, February 19, 2002, this previously mentioned sighting described the cube as an upside-down bread pan. April 19, 2008, the cube had a smooth bottom. December 14, 2009, the cube had a parallelogram or rhombus shape, probably trapezoid. December 6, 2010, the cube had narrow ends. May 1st, 2011, the cube had the look of a shrimp boat. October 3rd, 2013, the front of the cube looked like a boat and had slightly curved sides. May 26, 2016, the brick-looking cube had rounded edges. The mysterious donuts apparently have flat walls with windows and are often seen in a dry ice tule-like fog, much like the Derby. Backed by popular demand is our When Worlds Collide segment. By now, you have a better understanding as to what has transpired over the last 90 years, or so you thought. In our Friend or Foe episodes, the extent of our vulnerability is exposed. Of the 86 military UFO engagements deemed noteworthy and released, only a few will be outlined below. Many decades ago, it was rumored that both the US and Russia missile silos were being compromised, that missile and shuttle launches were being jeopardized and or sabotaged by UFOs. Now, whose finger is really on the button? The gentleman who installed the optical tracking system for Vandenberg stated that the magnified high-resolution images clearly depicted alien craft around our launches. The majority of military involvement is a cat-and-mouse game of jet chases, UFO. But the below encounter should give one pause for concern. Yet there is a mysterious twist, unanswered to date. Is someone on our side? June 30th, 1963, a 50-foot diameter saucer 10 feet over the missile silo sets off alarms. Jet soldiers are dispatched. Saucer speeds off at over 4,000 miles an hour. June 30th, 1967, UFO enters Vandenberg AFB airspace. June 1st, 1968, ICBM and Blue Streak missile launch dogged by UFOs in flight. No lasers were fired as previously reported. UFO speed on radar in excess of 10,500 miles an hour. Maximum capability of the radar unit. June 1st, 1968, 20 cylinders. First on radar, then hovering all around the base at Travis Air Force Base. September 22nd, 1970, UFO approaches Hawk missile silo. Entire base loses power. June 30th, 1971, Vandenberg Air Force Base put on full alert all night after saucers buzzed the base. Choppers called in and the launch was postponed. January 28, 1986, UFOs hovering around shuttle during launch. September 9, 2006, UFO shoots past the Atlantis shuttle during liftoff. November 11, 2007, Vandenberg Air Force Base jet chasing another cylinder. February 18, 2008, shuttle docking with ISIS. Object appears 5 seconds before final dock. January 25, 2010, UFOs around Saturn V command module. July 12, 2013, triangle appears directly over Kennedy Space Center. February 18, 2014, silver cylinder intercepted by 2 fighter jets over Cape Canaveral. The aliens have impressed upon us how displeased they are with nuclear weapons by frying the missile electronics in one of our underground silos. It took 3 months just to figure out how they did it. I'll tell you what, life's a learning curve, but we do know how to back engineer. So, without further ado, part 2 of our Friend or Foe episode.